Dr. Alex Ekwueme hailed from Oko, Orumba North local government area of Anambra State. He was born on the 21st of October 1932 at the rustic town of Uga, where his father was serving as an evangelist of the Christian Missionary Society, CMS. His early years were spent with his family on transfers to Mbologu, Adaziani, Oba, and Oko as his father's church assignments dictated. He attended St. John's CMS Primary School, Ekwueme, from where he gained admission into the prestigious King's College, Lagos. His outstanding brilliance stood him out among his peers. From King's College, the young Ekwueme got Fulbright scholarship to the University of Washington in the United States of America, where he obtained a bachelor's degree in architecture and city planning and a master's degree in urban planning. His capacity to multitask saw him bag degrees in sociology, history, philosophy, and law from the University of London. He later obtained a PhD in architecture from Strathclyde, Glasgow, in the United Kingdom. Dr. Alex Ekwueme capped his academic pursuit in 1991 with a brilliant performance at the Nigerian Law School. Alex Ekwueme's leadership qualities came to the fore at a very early age. While in King's College, Lagos, he became the school's senior prefect. While studying in America, he was president of various Pan-African students' associations.
He has always been in the forefront of many things. He was a man ahead of his times. When he was in the United States, he was the president of the West African Students Association, which was a group of African students in North America. And even the All-African students in Europe and America, he was also president before he came back, and this was at age under 25. So he had that leadership quality.
Ekwueme wedded Mrs. Beatrice Ekwueme on the 19th of December 1959. The marriage is blessed with children.
He saw me first before I saw him, and that was in 1946. He saw 3 girls walking along. He beckoned to them to come. I was one of those 3 girls. And we came. And he asked us questions. I was quite bold. I think he followed up from there. When he went back to King's College, he was on holiday, long vacation. He wrote me a letter, sent his photograph. I believe I replied. I don't remember the details, but he did. And that started a relationship, which ended in our getting married in 1959.
In 1957, at the age of 24, he opened his own architectural firm, Ekwueme Associates Architect and Town Planners, which was the first indigenous architectural firm in Nigeria. Ekwueme Associates maintained a flourishing practice with 16 offices spread across the country until he wound it up to enable him participate actively in Nigeria's political arena without infringing on the laws of the land. Ekwueme first sought to attain great heights in his professional pursuit before responding to the urge to serve his people and country.
We gave up a lot of our private enterprises. You see, he believed in this unity of Nigeria. I don't know whether he was appreciated or whether his policy was as appreciated as it should be. Because he believed in one Nigeria, and he believed in a Nigeria with equity, equal treatment for everybody. And his policy is like, take care of your brother, be your brother's keeper. And that was what he tried to do.
In 1979, Dr. Ekwueme was elected the first executive vice president of Nigeria. Following the coup d'etat that toppled the Shagari Ekwueme government, he was tried by a military tribunal which came to a conclusion that Dr. Ekwueme was impoverished by his involvement in government. Paraphrased, Dr. Ekwueme was poorer after leaving government than he was before serving as Vice President of Nigeria. However, he continued to offer crucial counsels to ensure the progress of Nigeria. Apart from meritoriously serving as the Vice President of Nigeria, Dr. Alex Ekwueme served in other capacities to make for a better Nigeria. His vibrant participation in the National Constitutional Conference of 1995, where he served on the Committee on the Structure and Framework of the Constitution, led to the recognition of the 6th geopolitical zone structure as standard for equitable discourses in Nigeria's geopolitical space.
At that time, the efforts were geared towards looking at how to share power in Nigeria, restructure the polity, and make it more functional to the admiration or satisfaction of all the component parts of Nigeria. So Ekwueme was the one that proposed a rotational power arrangement between the north and the south part of Nigeria. And he proposed rotation of this presidency across a 6-zonal structure, which he also proposed. It was Dr. Alex Ekwueme that divided Nigeria into 6 geopolitical zones: North Central, Northwest, Northeast, Southeast, South-South, and Southwest. So he was one that proposed it in the 1995 Constitutional Conference, and then proposed again that there shall be 6 vice presidents. All the other things that were discussed in that Constitutional Conference pelted away, but something stuck, and that has been the 6 zones Ekwueme proposed. It's not enshrined in our Constitution up to this day, but in principle and in convention, the 6-zonal structure has been accepted by Nigerians.
In 1998, Dr. Ekwueme led a group of eminent Nigerians now popularly referred to as G34, which later transformed into the People's Democratic Party (PDP), with Dr. Ekwueme as the first chairman of the party's board of trustees.
It was Alex Ekwueme who formed the famous G34 that took Abacha's government to task and rallied his compatriots across the country to form the famous G34. Many of them are gone now, people like Manadamu Chiroma and the rest of them. So it was through the activities of the G34 that the struggle for return to democratic rule in 1999 was given life. The way they confronted the leadership of Abacha then restored some hope, on the part of Nigerian citizens.
While substantially responding to national and international calls to service, Dr. Alex Ekwueme did not abandon his town, Oko, the constituents of the old Agwata local government area, and his state. He established the Ekwueme Memorial Educational Trust Fund in 1965, sponsoring the education of several hundreds of youths to universities in Nigeria and abroad.
He loved education from beginning to end. And even at the age of 85, he was still paying fees for children in institutions, both here at home and abroad. And so the first foundation was in memory of his late brother. So this foundation was in his memory, and we paid fees. Actually, I was working that. I was writing all the letters. I was paying the fees from secondary school. These children, anybody who passed entrance exam to any school, and because he couldn't pay fees, Alex took it up. And so it has been until death.
Among others, he founded the College of Arts and Science, Oko, which has metamorphosed to the present-day Federal Polytechnic, Oko.
He felt he had to return that goodwill by God and the country in the service of the country. And the best way was to venture into the areas of education by establishing the first community secondary school in this whole area, the Agwata High School, by establishing the first community hospital in this area, the Oko Community Hospital, and other institutions, and awarding scholarships to hundreds of underprivileged pupils and students at the primary, secondary, and tertiary levels, not only in this local community area and the areas beyond, but throughout the country.
The depth and spread of his charitable heart earned him the revered title of the Ide of Oko, as well as Ide of Agwata, the pillar of development among his people.
Ide is the Okosisi, and I honored him with that title of Okosimba many years ago. When you think about Okosisi, Okosisi is even mightier than Europe, you know, and that is what it stands for. To an Oko man, Ekwueme, as far as I'm concerned, made Oko. In everything, I start to be challenged by anybody. Uprightness. He does not succumb to anything. Even if you threaten him, that truth, he will stand by it.
It was evident that Ide was a true detribalized Nigerian. His love and dedication to the development of his mother state, Anambra, was unflinching. Regardless of his political affiliation, Dr. Ekwueme continued to support the Anambra state government and provided valuable counsel when sought.
I got very close to him shortly after my swearing in, when we were preparing for StatesMan, the time we buried people that died during the Civil War. When I took the invitation to him, he was very excited and remarked that no governor before me tried that, you know, and how I got the inspiration. That was something very nice to do. I felt very encouraged by that, and as you observed, he participated fully, you know, in the function, and I gave him the opportunity to lay the wreath as the father. Beyond that, he's a supporter of my administration, very strong supporter of my administration. He's non-partisan, although he helped to found the PDP, but he attends everything we invite him to and discusses freely. He's a very free thinker, believes very much in the cause of Ndibo.
As a professional architect, Ekwueme headed the Nigerian Institute of Architects and the Architects Registration Council of Nigeria. He was the chairman of Board of Trustees of Nigerian Institute of Architects. He served on the board of Anambra State Housing Development Authority. Ekwueme was a member of the Housing Committee of the Adebo Salaries and Wages Commission.
The firm he founded, Ekwueme Associates, was one of the first architectural firms in Nigeria. And a lot of architects actually cut their teeth from there. That is actually one thing that makes him really exceptional. He's a man that was imbued with a lot of intelligence, resilience, and never really been satisfied with what he had achieved. As a bridge builder, he attempted to bring all the professionals in the built environment industry together. He realized that if the professionals could come together and work as a team, more could be achieved. And that was why Ekwueme Associates at a point was metamorphosed into integrated consultants, which now involved planners, architects, builders, quantity surveyors, all that had something to contribute to the industry, working as a team under one roof. And a lot was achieved. A lot came out of that.
Lending his robust physical and intellectual energy to the service of humanity, Dr. Alex Ekwueme was a member of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS Elders Council. He was a member of Board of Directors of Canada-based Forum of Federations. Ekwueme led the pre-election monitoring team, which was constituted by the National Democratic Institute, NDI, for the parliamentary election in Zimbabwe in 2000. He also led the Organization of African Unity OAU Observer Team to the Tanzanian presidential and parliamentary elections of 2000. He co-led the 28-member National Democratic Institute and Carter Center-sponsored Observer Team to the Liberian presidential runoff election in 2005. Ekwueme holds the national honor of Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, GCON. He also holds the Order of the Republic of Guinea and Nigeria. In October 2002, Dr. Ekwueme authored 2 books, namely From State House to Kirikiri and Whither Nigeria.
Well, to us in Anambra, we have produced a very great son who has done us proud right from his youth. He has always maintained a very wonderful track in his educational career. So this is a very highly knowledgeable and intelligent person. He's a rare species. He's a rare intellectual species. And so he is a son we are very proud of, who has also done Anambra people proud and Nigerians as a whole by becoming the first elected vice president of Nigeria, apart from being the founder of the foremost architectural firm in Nigeria. So he's somebody any country will be very proud to have as their citizen, and then of course people from where he comes from will be very proud to have as their son.
Chief Dr. Alex Ifeanyichukwu Ekwueme is presented here in his ambassadorial role as a frontline Onyanambra whose intensive call to serve his community, country and humanity has revealed him as one of the truest nationalists and the finest statesmen Nigeria has ever produced.
I know that Ekwueme is in heaven. And if I go there, I don't see him, I'll query. Because I know the life this man lived. If he's not in heaven, I will query them.
From the time the Second Republic was truncated till this present day that he bowed out in death, Ekwueme remained a cynosure of all eyes because he became a statesman of rare imagination.
I think he was a man who God loved. And he was a man who loved God. He was a man extraordinarily talented with intellect, generosity, and open mind and a very forgiving spirit. He blessed many people with his generosity and forgave all those who wronged him, whether in business or in politics. And he was an extraordinary man, even though he was my brother. But he had an extraordinary talent in many ways. And as I said, he was a man loved by God, and he loved God and gave to God all he could, whether it be the church, the state, the community, or the whole wide world. So we thank God for his life.
You see, starting from the age of 12, as I did, to know this man, and then getting married in 1959. The day he died was exactly 1 month to our 58th wedding anniversary. So, a relationship that spanned up to about 70 years. he wasn't just a husband. He became a brother. He became a friend. He became a confidant. So I will miss him because all these things are now gone.
I personally missed a father, a friend, and a statesman, and the Anambra in particular, and Nigeria as a whole, lost a great man.
While the government and people of Anambra State mourn the loss of their illustrious son, all who bear kind thoughts of the icon are encouraged to take solace in his positive contributions to the good of mankind when he trod this path. Chief Dr. Alex Ifeanyichukwu Ekwueme, Ide, fare thee well.